What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football, the second video as promised with Younes. This time we have moved from the Champions League, which we are currently holders of. I'm going to throw that in there every time, by the way. I don't care.
Make the most of it, bruv.
Yep,
Make the most of it.
We're going to keep doing it. And now we've moved on to the Premier League, and it is a London derby. But before I do get into that, make sure you do like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You get me? We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Help us make it happen, man. You've been fantastic in your support. Please continue to do so. And Younes' details also down there in the description. Obviously, you know what to do with that. Give the man a follow. Show the man some love. You get me? Now, we are here for the London derby. Right, Chelsea versus Tottenham, but we will be at White Hart Lane. Younes, Tottenham are going to be without a couple of players. Bergwijn definitely will be missing. Son looks like a miss as well. These are players that have been quality for Spurs. But how are you feeling going into this game?
It's a Chelsea win.
Absolutely.
It's a Chelsea win, man. Look, I watched, we all watched, I think we all watched because it was the early kickoff last weekend, but we all watched Palace versus Spurs. I don't know if you did because in New York, I know time can be a bit mad.
I'm up 5:30 every morning. Yep.
Winner's mindset. But listen, that Crystal Palace Tottenham game, if Tottenham are missing Son, mate, 50% of Tottenham are gone. And I think the whole Harry Kane situation's kind of destabilized him a little bit. He's not firing all cylinders. I don't think he even deeply wants to be there. He has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like going to class, like in a class that you don't want to be in, but you've got to show up because, you know, you don't want your attendance to flop or something like that.
No, absolutely.
That is what's happened. And now with Tottenham, I feel like there's just there's not a good balance. With men missing, I think Chelsea are going to go there and get a result. Surely. Sure.
I think so as well. And as for Harry Kane, they might need to change that Kane to Houdini, really, because where is he? Don't think he wants to play for Spurs anymore. Just like he said, it's not good. Well, I mean, Tottenham, they started off well. How many? Do you know what? I'm going to be accurate. I'm not just going to start freestyling stuff. Tottenham, they started off decent. I know they got 2 wins in their first game. I know in their first 2 games. That's correct. Where are we here? We are. Okay, well, Tottenham started off well. I can't be asked to look for the result, but yeah, they started. they started off all right. Then obviously they got done by Crystal Palace. Patrick Vieira's men, who also decided to rub the salt in the wounds, because the man who was interviewing him asked him, "How does it feel to win against Tottenham Hotspur with this Crystal Palace team?" And Vieira's beautiful response was this: "I don't know what it's like to lose to Tottenham."
That's amazing.
How about that? Yeah, how about that?
Take a bow, Patrick Vieira.
Yep, off the back of that, like they said, Son is missing. Kante, I think, because we got to talk about potential returns, but I think it's a bit early to talk about that because we haven't had a press conference from Thomas Tuchel yet. So in terms of updates of injuries, not sure if Kante is going to feature. But would you even be like, aside from maybe 1 or 2 changes from what we saw on Tuesday, the changes I'd perhaps make, I'd probably bring Kai Havertz in, I'd bring Timo Werner in, and just to really, because I want an emphatic win, I'd have Callum Hudson-Odoi as our right wing back, because remember, Reece James is still suspended for this game too. I believe he is.
I think it's a 1-game suspension.
Oh, it's a 1 game, but
I thought it was 3.
Yeah,
but apparently it's just a 1 because it wasn't an intentional. Like, he didn't actually mean to handball it. So even if it's a red card, apparently it's a 1-game suspension, not a 3. So he's available. To be honest, I agree with pretty much everything. I do think logically Reece James will probably start that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, just the fact that he's a right wing back. But everything else, I think, is fine. In terms of defense, I don't think we've got much of a concern, even if it's the same as we saw against Zenit, or if Chalobah starts, or if Thiago Silva's brought in, whoever, we're good. We're good. In terms of midfield, that's going to be the one area, I feel, because if Kante comes back in, which I think there's a chance he might, he's already been training. He just wasn't fit enough to feature on Tuesday. So I think he'll be ready for Tottenham. I do think we'll see Kante come back in. Then you got to ask yourself, okay, who's playing alongside him? Is it Jorginho or is it Kovacic, who's in the form of his life? Like, it's a really tough one. It's a really tough one.
I would understand. This is the thing. I'd understand if Tuchel sat down Jorginho, and it's not because of how brilliant Kovacic has been. That's not even. I just think Jorginho has played a lot of football. And
that too.
Yeah, and we can, and it's like with the last video when we spoke, we can afford to rotate. We've got the personnel to do so.
We can, yeah, and that could be an option for Thomas Tuchel. So we'll see what happens in that aspect. But in terms of the front three, I would definitely change it up, like you said. I'd bring Havertz and Werner in, especially against this Tottenham team. Let's have it right. They sacked Jose to bring in Jose Light.
That's a good one.
Literally, man. They have not changed one bit. They are the same. Yeah, they are the same. So, and to be honest, they're the same, but they lack that personality now. That's the only thing that's gone. Like, Jose's presence is a presence. We all know this. Like, you know, having Jose as your manager, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, he is actually a world-class manager. But Nuno, not on that level. But the style is identical. So I was going to say Jose. So Tottenham are pretty much the same. If we're playing against that, you know they're going to sit back. They are going to sit back. They are going to, you know, try and contain. Mate, just throw the kitchen sink at them. We will score. Especially with Lukaku there, we will score.
No, absolutely. And a player that they will be missing because he was given a red card for a challenge on Wilfred Zaha is Tanganga.
Who's their best defender on the day.
Right, exactly. And yeah, I was just about to say that. You hear that a lot from their fans. They highly rate him. He's not going to be available for the next game. I'm just looking now at the actual suspension and injuries list. So, Heung Son looks like he's going to be out of this game. He's been injured since the 6th of September. The source I'm getting is from his transfer market website. I'll put the link up in the description. Then you got Christian Romero, who is in... but these three Argentinians. So you got Christian Romero. Sanchez is not actually Argentinian, but I know Lo Celso is. I think they will be back from quarantine. They might be available. So that will be a boost for Tottenham. And obviously, Sessegnon, who is a bit of a fringe player for Spurs, will not be available. But I think the glaring one there is Heung Son. That is a massive, massive miss for Tottenham, especially the fact, like we alluded to, that Harry Kane hasn't found his shooting boots. And like you said, I think the whole Man City saga and that not happening has affected him more than what we think. But without those two men on the field, I don't see Tottenham standing a chance. I don't see where these goals are going to come from unless Lucas Moura has a blinder.
Yeah, completely. As I said, like with Son, he is key for Tottenham. And I think right now, more than Harry Kane, last season you could have debated that. But this now, you know that Son is in it 100%. Son is Spurs through and through, and he knows that, and he's not going anywhere, and that is just where he's happy to be. He's playing well, and he is the main guy in the team. With Kane, that's not the case right now. The stability is gone. So missing Son is huge. He's the one outlet. Without Son, who have they got? No one's going to get past that defense. You think Liverpool couldn't get past our defense? Yeah. But you think Spurs are going to get past that defense if they've just carried Kane by himself up? No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
I think it's another clean sheet for Chelsea. I think it's minimum 2-0. An interesting one is the left wing back situation. And I say this because obviously Chilwell, we haven't seen much of him, but I wouldn't even drop Alonso for this game because look at his record against Tottenham.
I mean, that's a standout feature in itself. You can't drop Alonso against Spurs, but I wouldn't drop Alonso at all right now. And it's not a case of Ben Chilwell's not playing well or he's rubbish. No, I feel sorry for him, but it's tough. You can't drop Alonso. He's in the form of his life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's one of those things. So Chilwell, stay patient. There's a lot of games on the calendar, tons of matches. He will play. He will feature. But right now in this game, Alonso has to start.
No, 100%. And I think fans need to calm down a bit about, Ben Chilwell's going to want to leave. He's going to want to be unhappy. You got to understand, Chelsea have a lot of football to play this season. A lot of football. We've got Europe. We've got the FA Cup. We've got the Carling Cup. We've got the Club World Cup still to play. We've got to focus on the Prem. There's a lot of football to be played for everybody. Exactly. And for us to be successful, we're going to have to rotate and use our squad. So we will be seeing these boys. So I don't expect to see Chilwell starting. And I think Marcus Alonso as well. Like it just goes without saying. He just loves to score against Spurs. They just seems to be his favorite team.
Literally, whether it's a free kick or shot from the edge of the D or whatever.
Yeah, in some kind of dramatic fashion, Alonso will get a goal. Yeah.
Mate, if you're a betting man, stick a tenner on Alonso to score. Simple.
No, absolutely. So Younes, in terms of lineups, I know we didn't give away the full lineup, but we said the changes that we'd like to see. But let's go with your starting 11.
So personally, I reckon I would go Mendy in goal. Obviously, I would go Rudiger left centre back. Aspie and Christensen, I feel, are still perfect.
The same
don't
three.
Touch it. The same three. Leave it as it is. Right wing back, Reece James. Left wing back, Alonso. The centre mids. This is tough, man, because I love the way Kovacic is playing. I feel like the balance needed, though, if Kante's fit, it needs to be Jorginho Kante. If Kante's not fit, Jorginho Kovacic. But I don't see a way. It could happen, but I don't see Kante Kovacic playing together. And then up top, or the front three, would be Havertz in behind, Werner and Lukaku up top together. That would be Werner left forward, Lukaku right forward.
Honestly, I think we're going to see Timo have a good game. He's going to relish this game. I reckon he's going to give them Spurs defenders a nightmare. He's going to stretch him. He's going to pull him. They're going to be just struggling to keep up with him. I dare them to even think about playing a remotely high line. I dare them to even think
be
about
crazy.
doing that. Yeah. So
we pace them 5-0 if they decide to play a high line.
It would be over by half time. Yeah, past the pad 3-0 settings at half time. 100%.
Apologies in store.
No, like honestly, like when I look at this game for what it is, and it's not even a disrespect to Tottenham, I genuinely cannot see anything coming from this for them. And honestly, I just see it being a one-way street. I see us continuing with a clean sheet. Speaking of clean sheets, Younes, I don't know if you've been presented this question yet, but I have. Do you think that we could beat our own defensive record?
I spoke with Matisse on this. When was it? Yesterday. Yeah. You know what's mad? It'll be tough, but it's possible. I think it's possible. Because what let us down last season since Tuchel come in was that game against West Brom.
Yeah.
It was a stat pad, pretty much.
It was a freak result. A
freak result. If it wasn't for that, if you're talking in terms of ratio, if you're talking in terms of, goals to games, it would be pretty much identical to that year in 2004-05. So right now, the fact that we're doing really well, we're not conceding, I want to say it's possible. It would be crazy because no one's done it since.
No.
Yeah? If we do it twice, no one can say a thing to us ever again. Like, no one. And that was a Mourinho team. To think like a Tuchel team will do it, insane.
And then one more question that might boil the piss of the Arsenal fans. Is that a bigger achievement than a gold trophy? I love to ask this question. It's such a curveball.
It is, in its own context, yes. But at the same time, a golden trophy is a golden trophy, isn't it? Being invincible is not easy, especially in today's game. But there is one thing I want to say about that Arsenal team back then, right? Look at how many draws they had that season.
Exactly.
And I think that gets left a little bit untouched. I don't think many talk about it. They just see, okay, invincible. They didn't lose a game. Wow, incredible. Well, they didn't win that many either. They won quite a bit. But you look at the points that they finished on, I think it was like 80-something. When you're looking the next season after that, Chelsea had 95 points.
Exactly.
Defensive record. And we lost one game against Man City, which was 1-0 and stupid. That shouldn't have happened.
We should have never happened.
We would have got a golden trophy. We would have beaten the points record, and we would have beaten the goals conceded record, which we did 2 out of the 3. Hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. And listen, while it's still early, there's always this season. While it's still available and it's there to grab, there's still this season.
Imagine we do it. Can you imagine if we go invincible? Oh my God.
First of all, the first thing that will happen is there'll be like a Comunicado official from Troops TV that Guni has no longer been invited onto this show. anymore. That'd just be it. He'd never pick up the phone again to me.
You've been blocked of troops.
Yeah, and it's. I just act the complete fool. I just don't know what I do. I don't know. It will be mental, but I just know
that
it won't
would be the one thing that Arsenal can't talk about anymore. That's it. Like,
yeah, I think they'll go
if
mental.
we went invincible, that's it. We have fully buried Arsenal below us. Done on every front. That's the one thing they hold on us, is that they've gone invincible before.
Well, I think I'm going to say this. I'm going to be brave. I think if there's ever going to be a team to do that again, it's going to be the Chelsea. Long may the clean sheets continue. Hopefully, we could come back to this at the end of the season and talk about this and gloat, because I would love that.
God.
I would.
Oh my God.
But on that note, Younes, thank you very much for joining in. Before we go, what's your prediction? Score prediction for Spurs, Chelsea?
I'm going. I don't want to get too cocky. I'm gonna say Tottenham 0, Chelsea 2.
Yeah, 2-0. Well, there you go, Younes.
I want to say deep down, I'm thinking 3, but I don't want to say.
Yeah,
probably a bit too much. I'll say 2-0.
So there we go. Either way, we keep the clean sheet. We get 3 points for this weekend. Let us know your predictions. Let us who you'd know. Let us know who you would like to see in the lineup on Saturday. Everything down there in the comments. You already know that I'm active in there. I'm always responding. So yeah, man. Younes, thank you very much for joining me today. I took a lot of your time, so I'm extra grateful today. We've done 2 videos. Appreciate that. If you haven't seen that one, it is a Champions League roundup. Just a quick roundup on the games, the opening day. Very good watch. Check that one out. But like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. Younes' details down there in the descriptions. You know what to do, ladies and gents. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, make sure you're safe. And Chelsea are champions of Europe. Bless.